Stacy, Hexinverter, how are you?
Good, good. I actually changed my name to DJ Heisenberg. You can see with that
Heisenberg, okay.
pro headphones I have here. Yeah, after I was abducted, it was I was put into abduction witness protection. Yeah, and that's why
I think outing yourself as being in witness protection is maybe not the best witness protection.
You're right.
Unless it's a double bluff.
I shouldn't have just told you guys that. I'm probably...
Or is this the triple bluff?
This is the end of my human life now. Yeah, I'm going on to another dimension after this.
Before you leave us to the stars above, whatever is out there, can we hear some Mindface?
Yeah. That's why it's been
just enough time before you have to leave and exit this.
I'm gonna make sure that they let me stick around that long. Yeah.
So this is some new twists on a kind of dual complex oscillator design. I mean, let's just hear some shaping, folding, modulation.
Definitely. Yeah, after the probing, it was clear I didn't want to go in any sort of classical direction with it. So, yeah, let's talk about the wave shaper first. I mean, we're probably all familiar with the concept of having a couple of VCOs in there. So we've got really stable cores. They're identical cores. They just differ in the panel features a bit, to sort of form the way you use a complex signal generator. So let's talk about the wave shaper, because that's probably the coolest part of it first. So we have two major modes of wave folding. You have symmetrical wave folding and asymmetrical wave folding. And they really changed every parameter you see here folds feedback amplitude, which is full range amplitude modulation, meaning you can use it as a VCA if you're not doing AM with it. And the phase modulation bus, which interestingly is separate from the VCO cores and part of the actual wave shapers, so it happens after everything else. So there's two modes you can flip this whole system through. So I'll just show you on the oscilloscope here. You have your, fundamental sine wave starting out. Please ignore the fact this looks and sounds a lot more like a triangle when you change it. That'll be fixed in the release. But so this is asymmetrical wave folding we're hearing. You can see it kind of cuts up the sine asymmetrically, folds it another octave up, and repeats. So the spectral harmonics on that are different from symmetrical wave folding. So you have these two modes to play with, which, especially when you're creating dynamic complex sounds, just patching around, switching between those, you really get a lot of different character out of it. So, of course, the most interesting feature maybe is through zero phase modulation. Let's hear a bit of that, why don't we? So I kind of really enjoy the having a low thing you can't really hear, low frequency to start with, and bringing in some audio rate modulation on that. Maybe that's a bit too low. So yeah, we're doing phase modulation, and when you switch things over, there's a bit of grit in there in one mode. So I would say one has got a more raw, biting character than the other. And I would also say that if you're looking for warm, smooth tones, Mindphaser can do that. You can coax it out of it, but I really try to exploit the fact that phase modulation and analog can be really weird. Anyway, yeah, let's just twiddle some knobs here and hear some stuff. So there's some phase modulation going on, bringing the wave folder up as well. Maybe sending some mod bus, sends to other things. Sorry, I'm just twiddling knobs here. Oh yeah, as well in the AM section, I've tried to really kind of give artists as many ways of creatively destroying your audio signal and messing around with harmonics here. So I'm turning up the feedback now. It can get pretty grimy. And In addition to the final amplitude modulation, within there as a final stage, you can throw on a soft clipping switch, which allows you to go between soft AM, and as the CV goes up, it starts to clip the waveform. So there's just harmonics, you know, and they all have a different taste to them, and it's really fun to play around with and noodle on. So as far as for performance features go, I really wanted to have full range attenuators on the Modbus destinations, because having you know, an attenuverter where in the center it's 0, you have half this, you know, these are standard in Eurorack for performance-sized modules, but having just half of that is kind of tricky to dial in for your positive there, negative's the other half. So what we did here is, you know, you dial in your amounts, and then you select their polarity just by toggling these buttons here. So you can really mix and match all over the panel. You see these on where there's an attenuator. Not everyone, but most of them. So you can really kind of use that as a performance feature, even to flip your CV signal around on the go while the amount stays the same and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much a short overview of it.
So performance-orientated audio destruction.
Yeah, I was, you know, maybe this is a little philosophical, but if you look at the way that I've done user interface design with Paper Noise in the past, who I work with, we've always had kind of a very, I mean, it's sci-fi, it's fun, it's, you know, we try to go in that direction, but it's always had sort of a grid-like feel to it, you know. Knobs up top, jacks on the bottom, and I think that's still relevant in many cases. However, I myself have seen a move towards many more people taking their systems out, and it's very much becoming, and this is my opinion, more of a performance thing, you know?
Yeah.
So moving forward, our philosophy, Mind Phaser is kind of a prototype of that philosophy in a way. We're really moving towards things that are designed with performance first in mind.
I feel like I've said performance-orientated or performance-friendly probably more than anything else all weekend.
Oh, that's very cool.
So you're totally right that is definitely where this thing is going.
Well, yeah, maybe I'm a little late to the party, but yeah.
No, that's just, you're right that we're on the edge of the shift, I think.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and I think at least when I started developing modules, a lot more of the folks, including myself, we were mostly with our systems in our studios, and I wasn't picking up my huge case, you know, to bring somewhere.
No.
And we've got great performance cases that are portable, flight safe, you know, stuff like that. And more it's becoming a live thing for people. So yeah, what's coming next? Lots more performance-oriented stuff.
Yeah, I mean, presuming the abduction and the probings don't get too aggressive, how far off's Mind Phaser? What kind of price are you going for?
Well, I reckon once I decode the transmissions, within a month or two, I'm going to have a date, and that date's going to be somewhere this summer. And oh yeah, so retail price is $5.99 in United States doubloons.
Excellent. Enjoy the probes.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what we're all about here. So yeah, aliens. Yeah, probes.
Yeah.
Yeah.